Good morning, grade 6. I hope that everybody is awake and ready to start the new day. So, today is our second online teaching lesson. I hope you guys are excited and ready to work hard. Okay, so today we will be doing instructions and reading. So, what is an instruction? So, instructions are a direction or order. It has detailed information about how something should be done or operated. I'm sure that most of you have read instructions before, maybe while cooking with mommy and daddy, or maybe building a table or a chair in your house. Somewhere along the way, you must have read instructions, right? Even maybe reading a cookbook. So, we know that instructions are there to help us to do something. So we know that instructions, they must be clear. So when you are reading instructions, you should be able to tell out the words. You should be able to make out what the sentence means. It should be clear and the words should be placed where they need to be. Then secondly, they need to be precise. When you're reading instructions, you don't want to be confused with a lot of things happening. It should be precise. It should be laid out exactly how it's supposed to, right? Then number 3, it should be logical. When you're reading instructions, you don't want to be confused. It should tell you step by step what to do, and you should never ever be confused, right? Number 4, it should be short. When you are reading something where someone is explaining how you should do something, you do not want to read long, boring paragraphs about how to bake a cake, right? It should be short and straight to the point. Number 5, it should be factual. So this means that whatever is written in those instructions, it should be the correct information. There should be no false information, right? They should tell you exactly what needs to be known. And then lastly, it should be easy to read. When you are reading something like instructions, you don't want to have 50 different sentences all over the place. It should be in a form and a structure that is easy to read and that you know what's next, right? Okay, so can everybody please open up their English textbooks to page 70. So we will be doing reading. So I will read you 2 recipes on how to make pancakes, right? This is so nice and fitting, especially for this time now that we're all at home. So I hope that after we're done with this lesson, you can ask mommy or daddy or your siblings if they can help you make one of these pancake recipes, right? So it's also a nice and fun activity for you to do once you're at home and done with homework and done with all your schoolwork. So I will read both recipes with you and then we will carry on to the activity. So pancake recipe 1. This one makes 10 pancakes, right? Our ingredients are 1 cup cupcake flour, a pinch of salt, a teaspoon of lemon, half a cup of water, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 3/4 cup milk, 2 eggs and 100 milliliters sunflower oil. For sprinkling, you can have sugar and cinnamon. So it gave us the list of ingredients and now it's giving us a list of method. And it's numbered from 1 to 7. So it says, sift the dry ingredients together. Step 2, beat eggs, water, milk and lemon juice together. Step 3, pour the egg mixture into the flour mixture and mix thoroughly. Step 4, add the oil and mix until smooth and creamy. Step 5. Leave the mixture to stand for 30 minutes. Step 6. Heat a non-stick frying pan and cook 1 cup pancake at a time. Step 7. Sprinkle with sugar and cinnamon and roll up. So in your textbook there's a picture of the pancakes with syrup and butter on it. I haven't included it in the PowerPoint, but you can see on page 70. So this was pancake recipe 1. It gave us the ingredients, how many pancakes it can make, as well as the method, step to step on how you should make it, right? It sounds really, really yummy. Please try and make that, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next page. Page 71. We have pancake recipe number 2. So this is one big paragraph and there's a lot happening in the picture. Pancake mix everywhere. So let's read the recipe number 2. We're gonna cook up a storm of about 10 lip-smacking, mouth-watering pancakes. In a large mixing bowl, sift together 1 cup of fresh cake flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder and some salt. Now find another bowl and mush 2 hen's eggs, 3/4 of a cup of milk, 150 milliliter of water, and a bit of freshly squeezed or bottled lemon juice. The lemon juice will add a liquor tang to the taste. When this is thoroughly mixed, whack it into the sifted bowl of dry ingredients and mix very well, like a cement mixer would. Now add 100 milliliters of sunflower oil and beat up the mixture until it is smooth like silk. Let it chill for half an hour or so that it can settle. On the stove, heat a non-stick frying pan and use a large ladle to scoop up the batter. Cook the pancakes one at a time and flip or turn them carefully. Slap some sugar and cinnamon on, roll them up and stuff them down while they're hot. And there we have a little sentence at the bottom of the picture that says, cooking up a storm. So this is pancake recipe number 2. It was a lot to take in, a lot of words and all mushed up in one big paragraph. So that was recipe number 2. So now I want you to ask yourself, if I read recipe 1 and recipe 2, if you had to pick a recipe which was the easiest to follow, which one would you say? Personally, I would say recipe 1 was much easier to follow. The ingredients and the methods were clearly headed and the steps are numbered. It was short, it was clear, it was precise instructions that were given. The descriptive detail in the long paragraph makes it more difficult to follow, right? The paragraph, there was just too much happening in recipe number 2. I couldn't follow anything, right? So moving on, we are still on page 71. So now you will do an activity, the after you read activity. So I'll just read through the questions with you quickly. So it's question 1 to 3. Question 1 says, list the ways in which the recipes differ. First, look at the layout, then examine sentence structure and tone. So there are 3 things you need to look at: the layout, examine the sentence structure and the tone of both recipes, right? Question 2 says, imagine you are about to make pancakes. A would be, which recipe would be easier to follow? So you can pick which one you think would be easier to follow. 2B says, what makes it easier to follow. So you need to give a reasoning for your answer. Why is it easier to follow this recipe, whichever one you chose? Question 3 says, the second recipe includes figurative language. For example, cooking up a storm and lip smacking. So why should instructions only use words literally, right? So just to recap what figurative and literal language is, I got this little block here in the slide. So literal language, is you say exactly what you mean. So it's straight to the point. For example, that outfit is horrible. And then we know figurative language, you don't say exactly what you mean, so the reader has to infer the meaning. So, for example, I would have never thought of putting that outfit together, right? And here's a very common example. When someone says he has lost his marbles, the literal one could mean that he literally lost his marbles, it fell out of his pocket. Or the figurative version can be he went a little bit crazy, right, in the picture. Okay, so for homework, I want you to open up your English workbooks and on top of a new page, write the heading Read and instructions, the date 7th of April 2020, page number 70 to 71, and draw a line, please. So then I want you to complete the activity, and this must be done in your English workbook. We will mark it tomorrow, the 8th of April, right? So I want you please to, before you do activity, write the definition of instructions, which is on the second slide, and then you do your activity after that, right? So yes, enjoy making those pancakes, grade 6, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.